feeling those legs get heavy sometimes. Maybe you get that frustrating cramp that wakes you up at night. Or standing for too long just feels like too much effort. It's easy to think it's just part of getting older, isn't it? That slowing down. That feeling of your muscles just not quite cooperating like they used to, especially in your legs. It can make simple things feel like a challenge. Walking to the shop, climbing stairs, even just getting up from a chair. This isn't just an inconvenience. It can really impact your independence and your enjoyment of life. What if I told you there's a surprisingly common reason for this weak leg feeling and those stubborn cramps? Something many seniors are missing without even knowing it. It's not just about aging muscles. It could be a simple deficiency. In this video, we're going to uncover what this common deficiency is and look at practical, easy ways you can address it to help get that strength back in your legs and reduce those annoying cramps. Watch to the end for something that will surprise you about just how impactful this seemingly small thing can be. So, let's talk about what might be going on. That common deficiency I mentioned, it's vitamin D. Now, you might primarily think of vitamin D for healthy bones, and you'd be absolutely right. It is crucial for bone strength, but its job doesn't stop there. Vitamin D plays a vital role in many other bodily functions, including the health and function of your muscles and nerves. When your body doesn't have enough vitamin D, your muscles, particularly in your legs, can start to feel weak, tired, and achy. This isn't just a vague feeling of fatigue. It can manifest as noticeable weakness, making simple movements feel difficult. Think about that feeling of heavy legs when you try to climb a few stairs or walk a short distance. That could very well be your muscles crying out for more vitamin D. And those painful muscle cramps, especially in your calves or feet. While cramps can have various causes, including dehydration or other mineral imbalances, low vitamin D levels can indirectly contribute to them. Vitamin D helps your body absorb calcium, and calcium is absolutely essential for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. If vitamin D is low, calcium absorption suffers, and this can mess with the delicate balance needed for smooth muscle function, potentially leading to cramps. It's like trying to run a car on low fuel. The engine just doesn't perform correctly. Your muscles are your engine for movement, and they need the right fuel and signals, which vitamin D helps provide and regulate. Now, why is this so common in seniors? Several factors come into play. As we age, our skin becomes less efficient at producing vitamin D when exposed to sunlight. Sunlight is a primary source of vitamin D for most people. But with changes in skin over time, the conversion process isn't as robust. Secondly, many seniors spend less time outdoors compared to when they were younger. Maybe mobility issues make going outside harder, or perhaps they live in climates with long, dark winters. Less time in the sun means less opportunity for the body to make vitamin D naturally. Diet can also be a factor, though it's often difficult to get enough vitamin D from food alone. Certain medications that are commonly taken by older adults can also interfere with vitamin D absorption or metabolism. Putting all these factors together, reduced skin production, less sun exposure, dietary gaps, and medication effects, it's not surprising that vitamin D deficiency is incredibly widespread in the senior population. Many people might just shrug off the symptoms like weak legs or occasional cramps as unavoidable signs of aging, not realizing it could be a deficiency that can often be corrected. It's a silent problem that can steal your strength and make daily life harder than it needs to be. So, what can you do about it? The first and most important step is to find out if you actually have a deficiency. You can't guess this. The symptoms I described can be caused by many things. The only way to know your vitamin D level for sure is through a simple blood test ordered by your doctor. This is crucial because it gives you a clear picture of what's going on inside your body. Don't be hesitant to ask your doctor about getting your vitamin D levels checked, especially if you've been experiencing persistent, weak legs, fatigue, or cramps. Once you have your blood test results, your doctor can tell you if your levels are low and by how much. This information is vital for deciding on the best course of action. Trying to guess or self-treat without knowing your levels can be ineffective or even harmful. Your doctor can interpret your specific results and consider your overall health. Medications. and lifestyle when recommending treatment. While you're waiting for that appointment or after you've discussed testing, let's touch on the natural source sunlight. Yes, getting some sun exposure can help, but it's not a straightforward solution, especially for seniors. You need direct sunlight on your skin, ideally without sunscreen, for your body to produce vitamin D. The amount of time needed varies depending on where you live, the time of year, and your skin type, but even 10 to 30 minutes several times a week on exposed skin like arms or legs during peak sun hours, usually late morning to early afternoon, can make a difference. However, we must be very careful about sun exposure due to the risk of skin cancer. Also, as mentioned, older skin isn't as efficient at this process, and in many parts of the world, particularly during winter months, the angle of the sun isn't right for significant vitamin D production. For many seniors, relying solely on sunlight isn't a reliable way to correct a deficiency. It can be a helpful part of a strategy, but it's often not enough on its own, especially if levels are very low. So, while enjoying some safe time outdoors is great for overall well-being and can contribute a little vitamin D, it's usually not the full answer for addressing a deficiency. Now, let's look at other ways to get this crucial vitamin, starting with what you put on your plate. Continuing our conversation about tackling this common vitamin D deficiency, let's explore another avenue for getting this essential nutrient through the foods you eat. While it's challenging to get all the vitamin D you need from diet alone, incorporating vitamin D-rich foods is still a valuable step. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are excellent sources. A serving of cooked salmon, for example, can provide a significant amount of vitamin D. Other types of fish, like tuna, also contain some vitamin D, but typically less than the fatty varieties. Beyond fish, there are some other natural sources, like egg yolks and certain types of mushrooms that have been exposed to UV light. However, for many people, a large portion of their dietary vitamin D comes from fortified foods. You'll find vitamin D added to milk, many plant-based milk alternatives like almond or soy milk, orange juice, cereals, and some yogurts. Checking the nutrition labels on these products is a good way to see how much vitamin D they contain. Making an effort to include these foods in your daily meals is certainly beneficial. Have a glass of fortified milk with your breakfast cereal. Enjoy some canned sardines on toast for lunch. Or make salmon part of your dinner rotation. Every little bit helps towards your overall intake. However, it's important to understand that even with a diet focused on these foods, it is highly unlikely you will consume enough vitamin D to correct a significant deficiency or even meet the recommended daily intake, especially if you're not getting much sun. This is particularly true for seniors, who often need higher amounts of vitamin D. This brings us to arguably the most effective way for many seniors to address a vitamin D deficiency supplementation. If your blood test shows low levels, your doctor will likely recommend a vitamin D supplement. This is often the simplest and most reliable way to get the amount of vitamin D needed to raise your levels into a healthy range. There are two main forms of vitamin D supplements, vitamin D2 and vitamin D3. Vitamin D3 is generally considered more effective at raising blood levels of vitamin D. Supplements come in various forms, such as capsules, tablets, or liquid drops, making them easy to take. The dosage recommended by your doctor will depend entirely on your current vitamin D levels and your individual health needs. It's absolutely crucial to follow your doctor's guidance on dosage and not to take very high doses without medical supervision, as it is possible to take too much vitamin D, which can be harmful. Taking a vitamin D supplement correctly is also important for absorption. Vitamin D is a fat-soluble vitamin, meaning it's best absorbed when taken with a meal that contains fat. So, try to take your supplement with your largest meal of the day, or with something like a spoonful of yogurt, a piece of avocado, or some nuts. Consistent daily or weekly dosing, as recommended by your doctor, is key to gradually building up your vitamin D levels. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time for your body to restore its stores, while focusing on vitamin D. It's also worth briefly mentioning that your body uses other nutrients in conjunction with vitamin D for optimal bone and muscle health. Magnesium, for instance, is needed to help your body activate and use vitamin D. Vitamin K works alongside vitamin D to help direct calcium to your bones and prevent it from building up in soft tissues. However, don't feel overwhelmed by trying to balance too many things at once. The most pressing issue is addressing the vitamin D deficiency itself. And often, your doctor will consider your overall nutrient status. Making sure you have adequate magnesium intake through foods like leafy greens, nuts, and seeds can be supportive. But don't let it distract you from the main goal of getting your vitamin D levels checked and following your doctor's plan. Certain health conditions or medications can also interfere with how your body absorbs or uses vitamin D. Conditions affecting the gut, like Crohn's disease or celiac disease, can reduce absorption. Some medications, such as certain seizure medications or steroids, can also impact vitamin D metabolism. If you have existing health conditions or take regular medications, be sure to discuss these with your doctor when talking about vitamin D, as they might influence the recommended approach or dosage. Understanding these potential interactions helps ensure your plan is tailored to your specific situation. Addressing low vitamin D isn't just about popping a pill. It's part of a broader picture of your health. Taking these steps, getting tested, understanding the role of sun and diet, and considering supplementation under medical guidance are all pieces of the puzzle in regaining strength and reducing discomfort in your legs. Now, let's bring it all together and talk about the positive changes you can expect. So, we've talked about vitamin D, why it's essential not just for your bones, but crucially for your muscles and nerves, and why low levels might be the hidden reason behind those weak legs and frustrating cramps you've been experiencing. We've covered the fact that it's very common in seniors, looked at why this happens, and discussed the key steps to take getting tested. Understanding the limited roles of sun and diet for correcting a deficiency, and the potential need for supplementation under a doctor's care. It might seem like a simple thing, just a vitamin, but the impact of having adequate vitamin D levels can be truly significant. Imagine being able to walk further without your legs feeling heavy and tired. Picture climbing stairs with more ease and confidence, or finally sleeping through the night without being woken up by a sudden, painful cramp. That regaining of strength and reduction in discomfort isn't just about physical comfort. It's about reclaiming your independence and enjoying the activities you love. It's about being able to keep up with grandchildren, join friends for a walk, or simply feel more confident and stable on your feet as you go about your day. The surprise I mentioned at the beginning, perhaps it's just how widespread this deficiency is, often going undiagnosed because the symptoms are mistakenly attributed solely to old age. And the other surprise is how relatively simple the solution can be, yet how profound the positive change can feel when you address it. Getting your vitamin D levels checked and taking steps to bring them into a healthy range isn't a magic bullet that will solve every ache or pain, but it is a fundamental step that can make a real difference to muscle strength and nerve function. It's a piece of the puzzle of healthy aging that is often overlooked. Remember, making even small changes consistently can add up to significant improvements in your health and overall happiness. Before you rush out to buy a bottle of vitamin D supplements, please remember the most important piece of advice: talk to your doctor. They can confirm if your levels are low, determine the right dosage for you based on your individual needs and health status, and advise on the best form of supplement and how to take it. Self-treating high doses of any vitamin is never a good idea. So, partnership with your healthcare provider is key to doing this safely and effectively. If you've experienced weak legs, cramping, or fatigue that you now suspect could be linked to vitamin D, or if you've already been diagnosed with low vitamin D and are taking steps to address it, I'd love to hear from you. Sharing your experiences in the comments below can be incredibly helpful and encouraging for others who might be going through something similar. It helps build our community here. If you found this information helpful and empowering, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps our channel reach more people who could benefit from this message. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. We share practical, actionable information like this regularly to help you navigate the journey of aging with strength, vitality, and confidence. Don't let common deficiencies or misconceptions about aging limit you. Take proactive steps for your health. You have the power to make a difference in how you feel and how you live each day. Live your best life at every age.